Coming up next on BBC Two, it's the BradWOTO stream, but first, it's time for What Picture Has Bradley Drawn Onto a Piece of Paper?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another fantastic edition of What Did Braid Draw? With your host, it's me. Alright, let's see if you can guess what I drew before we play some D&D. A frog shitting in a kiln. No idea what could possibly have inspired that. Orcish and Maya sitting in a tree. Metal Greymon. Another Jigglypuff, perhaps. Perhaps he drew a Jigglypuff. The new Seg design. Seg and Gary. Any other suggestions from chat before we get into it? Kirby sucking down a chili dog. An interesting choice. Wag Steven didn't get enough sleep. Sexual intercourse between yourself and Liam, finally acknowledging your love. It'd be so much easier, to be honest. My life would be so much easier if I could just get into a relationship with Liam. We'd save so much money. The worst reason to get into a relationship, but the single motivation that both of us have to find wives. What do you think he drew onto a piece of paper today? A frog shitting in a kiln is what they think.
A leader of men, a leader of more. He's listening, Gabe, he's ready for war. A powerful druid, but he cannot fly. He's in love with death, but he cannot die. His name is Gary, and this is his story.
I did it. I finally put the effort in and had a go at drawing Gary. It was quite hard to do because I had to draw all of it. Original character Gary. You know? Like obviously this we generated, but this part of him does not exist. And I had to give him a tapir nose. And fucking 4 arms. Oh, he's got 6 arms now? Fuck yeah. I don't know how to draw them on. I looked at it. I considered doing it. I'm not doing it. It's original Gary. The original. Where's my music? I don't have any music. Hello? There we go. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm a bit tired today. I'm not feeling very well still. It's been I can't believe this is still with me. And I'm still suffering. Don't know why. It won't go away. I have a doctor appointment on Tuesday. Really looking forward to it. Yeah. Super annoying. Just keep having these little mini, I don't know what they're called, relapse. Feel bad. Kind of hoping it goes away because I want to play video games tonight with the Fellowship. We're going to play some games with the Fellowship tonight, which I know excites a lot of you. A few of you get very excited. If you try to just fucking smile, I actually feel like, I'll be honest with you, I've done really fucking well. Considering how bad I've felt. This shit has been brutal. I actually don't think I've done too badly, all things considered, to keep my mood up and to not jump off the top of this building. Is it fucking sweltering down there too? It's not. It is hot. It is hot. But I don't have temperature regulation today because I don't feel well, so I can't even feel it. Oh, it's 27 outside, which means it's probably about 35 in here. Yeah, it's pretty warm, huh? Pretty warm. Yeah, I've got 2 fans on in the house, but I can't feel I can't feel it. So I probably feel worse because I can't feel it and I'm not cooling myself down appropriately. It's just part of it. It's been great. I was gonna have a quick look for something. I was gonna see if there's like D&D rules for children. Simplified rules. I wonder if they have like a simplified rule set. No, they have a board game. That's kind of cool. If you, yeah. Little But Fierce takes the core 5e rules and streams them. I'm not learning a whole new thing. I mean, that's essentially what I asked. I wondered if there was a way to... What I wanted was simplified spellcasting for D&D because it's quite hard to get everything through the door when you're like running this game, like trying to get all of the spells across to people, you know, that Gary can do, and he's about to level up, so it's gonna be a lot, I think. I guess we'll just deal with it. What I was thinking is maybe when we go to cast a spell or we do something that's really complex, I'll just put the 3 most appropriate options on the screen. You can vote between those 3. Maybe that would be better. Perhaps that would be better. What say ye? Fools. Been playing Loop Hero, considering I asked people for suggestions yesterday. Right, Noita doesn't work on Steam Deck. I asked people for suggestions that have Steam Deck or controller compatibility for little roguelites. Enrage suggested Children of Mortar. And Dave suggested a couple. I think someone suggested Dead Cells as well. There's this game Thronefall. Thronefall. Sorry, don't mind me. Every now and then I have to take like a breath because I can't breathe today. Every now and then you might catch me going because I can't breathe very well today.
And in this video I'll give you a quick overview of what
this looks good.
The game.
Maybe.
With Thronefall, we took everything we love about classic strategy games and tried
It's a German game though. Red
to
flag.
condense it down into the most accessible.
I'm afraid you are not using the most appropriate way through the level. This is the most efficient way that you can make it through the level, and you have not done that, so you will be punished.
During the day, you ride around on your little horse, developing your kingdom and deciding what to spend your hard-earned gold on. Constructing buildings in Thronefall
He almost sounds Indian.
is incredibly simple. Ride up to a build spot to see what you can build there
Doesn't
and
he?
how much it'll cost you. Hold the build button to
Maybe
construct
he is.
the
Maybe
building,
he's bad.
et voila, you have a mill, which gives you some income every morning. Now the important part is to strike the correct balance between economy and defense.
A minimalist
because
game
once
about
you
building
finish
and defending your little
night
kingdom.
sets in, and waves of enemies will attack
Okay,
your
this is a bit
kingdom.
like
If
that
the
other game
enemies
we played
destroy
that
your
was really
castle
fun.
center, the game is lost. However, when you manage to fight off the attackers, all economy buildings that survive the night will reward you with some gold in the morning. Think carefully about what you're
There it is. You must be placing it or thinking carefully or you will not. I went into Scandinavian. 6 playable levels. Yeah, this looks good. I don't know. We'll see. Add to your wish list. Dead Cells. Yeah, someone suggested Dead Cells. I think I own Dead Cells already. This is part of the Steam Fest. Oh, Simfest. Oh, Simfest? Cataclysmo. Strategy sim base building. Void Train. Maya just left the channel. Maya disconnected from the call. Summer House. Played that with Aaron. Crab God. Boardlets. Manor Lords. News Tower. Playing as Crispin Cantabile. Maya was back into Once Human so fast after the shield show last night. He didn't even leave the Discord channel to streamline how quickly he can get back in that game. How begrudgingly he did the shield show. Plum Grove. Call of the Angler. Retrosphere has left the channel. The Architect work with a Steam Deck or a controller. The key is it has to have controller support. Roguelike is key. Really enjoying roguelikes. Roguelikes are great for the Steam Deck.
They broke us once. But I see no broken souls today. I see a people carved from stone. And with this stone, we will rebuild.
Pretty sure I own Dead Cells. Yeah, I've got it already. No idea what it is. Wait, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. What the fuck is that all about? No way way this works on a fucking with a controller. There's the little Steam Deck button. No way, bruh.
Every story starts somewhere. These little beings were helped by
Steam Deck
gigantic
compatibility,
forces of
playable.
nature, who took them across the oceans and the solar system. As an old saying goes, life always finds a way, but sometimes needs a little push.
Black and white.
Shape
Remember that game?
planets with your powerful giants. Generate plants. Living creatures. Predators. Minerals. And unlock new biotica that your people will use to quickly evolve.
I mean, seems okay. Nothing about it stands out to me as...
Humans will evolve and create entire civilizations thanks to your many gifts. Your people can take many paths. Good.
I know. I've been playing Loop Hero. Really been enjoying that. Any suggestions for roguelikes or maybe tower defenses? Ideally the cheaper ones. Let me know or chuck them in the Discord. I'll take them. Into the Breach, I played the fuck out of that a while ago. I can't remember what I was doing when I was playing that. I remember I was working on something or something was happening and I was playing Into the Breach just constantly. My old house. I remember playing it but don't remember what it was. Moonlighter. Steam Deck, Xbox controller, that's good enough. Sold. Sold. Perfect. Flawless victory. Yeah, great. Great. Done. Sold. Absolutely sold. Good work. Alright, well the time has drawn nigh. It is time for us to see what Gary's up to.
It's under a tiny world. Will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush,
of everything about this, by the way, is that the subtitles have a mistake in the beginning. There's not a space between the beginning words. What? It makes me laugh so much. Professional. I am the professional.
It's under a tiny world. Will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rixonder's rain had stopped falling. What had stopped it? And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires? Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new major tech and steam-powered technology from the Hutchtan matriarchy or Kosus Reinti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, in the finals of the Kraven trials. Humans faced off against gnomes. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, leaving magic unstable, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest. The only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last gnome. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
His name is Gary, and this is his story. Hello? Hey! Oh yeah, I had these. Hold on. No. That's right. We're back. Gary lives again. I have this. Song ready to go, but it didn't finish in time. Let me do it real quick because I will forget, and then we'll jump into it. Gary Fights More is the name of this song. Alright, let's talk about what happened last week, shall we? Brad, you cannot. Why? Because you can't stop the music from playing. It's true. I don't seem to be able to stop the music from playing. Why not? Shut up, Brad. We're listening to this song. Stop. Thank you. Fuck. Ah. His name, it is Gary, and this is his story. And his name, it is Gary, revel in his glory. Alright, what did we do last week? Oh yeah, so last week you came here. To this place. What is going on with this? Shush. The undead djinn's final resting place. A crypt to the undead djinn. Well, a crypt to a djinn who is now undead would probably be better. A once mighty elemental spirit. You progressed through the dungeon. It was a legit dungeon. With Seg, you moved through the dungeon thinking it was a pub. Eventually coming to the final chamber. And really sort of got into a legit boss battle. And you had to fight this thing. As much as you were spinning the wheel, it was just not in your favor. So you kind of had to legitimately defeat a boss for the first time. And you did. You did. The djinn exploded into collectible loot. Like a pinata. And both Gary and Seg leveled up. Seg coming back from death. However, Rindor the Calm is dead. Pour one out for the boy. How you clapping that? Rindor. I think without Rindor in that fight, you would have lost and would have died. But you did lose Rindor, which was a terrible shame. For you. I'm the GM, I don't give a shit. Today we're going to level up Gary real quick before we get into this. So let's have a look. Thank you for the subs. Shadow, Ray, Harambe, Octavian. Appreciate you very much. Shadow, I love Shadow. You know, he's a good dude. And I say that not just picking him out of anyone gifting subs here. And obviously he does gift a lot of subs, but he also supports Table Story. And I watched the Shill show last night and worked on some stuff. And Shadow was in there, man. He's always around. He's a good lad. So thank you for supporting Table Story as well last night, Shadow. My boy, my son. Shadow is my legal son from now on. So, okay. Let's level up Gary. Level Character Mancer. This is it, right? Did we roll HP for him? No. Roll 6. So you get 6 extra HP. And he is what, level 4 now? Level 4, you can transform into any beast that has a challenge rating of half or lower that doesn't have a flying speed. God damn it. I only just fixed and added all of the things that he could turn into. And now I've got to add all the fucking half challenge rating creatures. Where's that fucking druid list that I need? Where's that fucking guide for all the things you can turn into? Challenge rating 2. You can turn into a giant constrictor snake now. Snake. Would you rather be able to turn into a giant constrictor snake or solid snake? The first poll begins. I mean, listen. Listen, Al-Gheib. You have a choice. Right? And the choice is now. Would you rather turn into a CR2 giant constrictor snake or a CR2 solid snake? What does that mean, Braid? Answer the question. You have all the information that you need. You may pick only one. Only one. Choice is yours. Other options, while you vote, are a hunter shark. Be fucking useless to you. A Quetzalcoatl. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't. That's not CR2. No, it doesn't exist. You can't have that. Or saber-toothed tiger. I know what you're going to pick every single time now. I've just seen a saber-toothed tiger is on now. I don't know if Gary's seen a shark. He definitely hasn't. A saber-toothed tiger he might have done. Thundercats are on the loose. Thundercats are cats. You want to turn into a solid snake. Oh, that's a handout. A CR2 solid snake. No, that is not solid snake. Snake is a medium humanoid. He's lawful good, isn't he? Now, where is the giant constrictor snake, so he has similar stats. His AC will be 12. His hit points will be 60. His speed will be 30 feet. He also can swim 30 feet because we've seen him do it. Snake has a 14 strength, a 19 dex, a 12 con, a 1 int. No, he's got like a... It doesn't matter. The rest of this doesn't matter. Wouldn't take them. You keep Gary's stats for these anyway. Skills. Stealth. +10. What was that noise? Acrobatics. Have you seen twin snakes? He's amazing at it. Survival. +5. Actions. What's the name of that weapon? We're just going to give him a short bow. Good God. Mark 23 SOCOM. (1d4). He's only got this ranged attack, and then he's got a chokehold, right? Right, we're just gonna copy the snake stats. He has a 5-foot reach on this. To hit is a +6. One target. They take 1d4 +4 bludgeoning. Bludgeoning damage. The target is grappled. Escape DC 16. Until this grapples ends, the creature is restrained. And solid snake can't constrict another target. Okay, so this creature is designed so if you need to sneak, you would transform into this. You know? That's what this creature is. Cardboard box. Well, the cardboard box is inside of the stealth +10, isn't it? Is there a Solid Snake D&D token online? God damn it. How can there not be one? Gotta do everything my goddamn self. Too tired for this today. I didn't get any sleep. And yes, when he transforms, he sounds like Solid Snake. Confirmed. The weird things. D&D tokens folder. Solid Snake token. Why wouldn't I need that? The things I do for D&D. Now, normally before any D&D session, this is the type of thing I spend my day off doing. You know, when I'm like, well, I'm going to take Tuesday off because I've got to work on some stuff for Cura. It's shit like this. Making tokens and prepping shit. But due to the nature of this campaign, do everything on the screen. I show you the entire process. We generate the dungeon. We create the music, we create the NPCs and the tokens, everything. Right here, live.
No. That is not Solid Snake.
Okay, a CR, so you can transform now into a CR2 Solid Snake as well. A specialist in stealth. As well as a saber-toothed tiger, which is 52 HP, AC of 12, a +6 to stealth, so didn't even really need Solid Snake. Can pounce if it moves 20 feet straight towards a target and hits with a claw attack on the same turn. The target must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw to be knocked prone. A bite with a 1d10 and a claw with a 1d6. And a hunter shark, which I don't think is... You can even swim when you transform, so I don't know if it's useful right now, but... You can transform into a shark. There's also no water in the world, so pretty useless. Pretty useless, I would say. Okay, what else? Cantrip versatility. Whenever you reach a level in this class that grants the ability score improvement feature, you can replace one cantrip you learned from this class's spellcasting feature with another cantrip. Well, we randomized that anyway, so... Doesn't matter. Ability score improvements. He needs a boost to charisma and wisdom. I'm not going to roll for those because at this point he's desperately in need of points in those trees, because you guys used charisma for everything but gave him a 9 in charisma and then decided that you would talk your way out of every situation. I'm just going to throw you a bone here and we're going to upgrade the right staff. Now spells we will randomize. So you get one more cantrip. How many more spells? 6? Fucking hell. Okay. We'll do 4 level 1s, 2 level 2s then. So the cantrip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Infestation. You cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on a creature you see within range. They make a con save or they take 1d6 poison damage. And move 5 feet in a random direction. Roll d4 for direction. Okay. I couldn't even name 6 D&D spells, let alone explain them. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know what, but might be more fun? No, it wouldn't, would it? Never mind. We want 4d16. 1, good berry, which creates a little berry that gives you 1 HP back. 3, 1, 2, 3, jump, lets you jump further. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, detect poison and disease. I'm guessing that lets you detect poison and disease. Hi Thunder, thanks for the resub. For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. That's pretty cool. And then 14 was, this was 16, 15, 14. Absorb elements. That's a reaction. When something hits you with elemental damage, you now have the ability to use a reaction, right? Is it a reaction? Yeah, 1 reaction, and you can reduce the incoming damage and then store it and release it out on your next melee attack if you want as well, which is pretty cool. But also now we have to worry about reactions. Good berries is 100% iron brew and a Mars bar, yeah, 100%. Good berry is now, we're going to change it to iron brew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. $13 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 moonbeams, sick. And find traps. Nice. Good spells, man. Find traps, a level 2 spell. You sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or expected effect. And then moonbeam is a fucking column of death. A range of 120 feet, a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder appears and deals... It's a particle cannon, is what it is. They make a con save or they take 2d10 radiant damage. Okay. So, that's the spells that Gary has. I'm trying to figure out ways to make the spell casting quicker when we're in the middle of combat, because listing off all of the spells is really difficult and explaining what all of them do. Not everyone knows what all the spells do, right? There's like 5 people in the chat that are like,
I've learned every single spell and I know all of it inside my brain.
and it's just those 5 people that can play in those moments. So I think I will... I mean, my spell knowledge is okay, but how do we go about resupplying components for spells? I'm just choosing to believe that Gary has the components. You don't actually need to use the material components. You can just justify it and say that as long as you have a spell casting focus, that's the material element. Some people like to flavor that they're picking up bits of twine and a feather from a fucking fallen crow, and they throw all those things together. I've been watching Critical Role and I actually like the way Liam O'Brien does that as his wizard, but for the purposes of this, unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. Alright, where's Goodberry? Goodberry is now going to be called... Iron Bro. Up to 10 Iron Bros appear. In your hand. Probably need to do the whole thing, don't I? And are infused with magic for the duration. A creature can use this action to drink 1 Iron Bro. Drinking an Iron Bro restores 1 hit point, and the Iron Bro provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. The brews lose their potency if they've not been consumed within 24 hours of casting the spell. Yes. That's hilarious. Okay. So you got 6 HP on the level up. Is it full HP? We'll just say is that a long rest, I guess. And that is Gary's sheet. Let's update the what's it? The what's it? Bop it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Suck it. What? You heard me. Bop it. Twist it. And then it's getting harder and harder to do every time. It's so unbelievably difficult. Because I have to splice it together in Photoshop. You know what I'm saying? Oh my good god. Oh, it's not what I want. What is it? It's this, isn't it? Okay. Character sheet. Export as PNG, please. And we export that into the Twitch Plays folder. And this is Gary, character sheet level 4. And his spells are now... His spell scores probably changed as well, right? Because he got a point in wisdom and a point in charisma. Spell sheet level 4. And then I need to update the chat command. His name, it is Gary. And this is his character sheet. And then I need to update his spell sheet. Okay, that is done. Gary is updated. And the commands are updated as well. Now, we've also got to make Seg. Or update Seg in some way. Seg became a real character. How do we do that? I kind of don't want to update him now that I'm here. We're going to give him more HP. Now, if Seg was a fighter, fighter D&D, what would his hit dice be? If he was a level 4 fighter, he'd have a D10 plus his con modifier. Well, his con modifier is -1. So let's give him 2 ability score improvements. The first one being con, bring that up to a 10. The second one being a 16 there. Now, what do we put 2 more points in for Seg? We can put them into Constitution or Dexterity. It doesn't make sense to put them into anything else. I'll let you decide. Seg, level up. +2 to Dex. +2 to Con. The choice is yours. Constitution will give him more HP, basically. Dexterity will give him more attack power. That's the choice I'm giving you. Con. Okay, so his Constitution is now 12. Let's work out his HP. His HP would be 10 plus 2 at level 1, so 12. And then he would have 3d10 plus 6. Additionally, 29 on top of that, so that's plus 12 plus 29. I can't do that. 41? Did I get it right? Wax Steven's furious. Okay, he gets proficiency in Strength Saving Throw and Constitution Saving Throw. What's proficiency at level 4? +2. He gets proficiency in those. He gets proficiency in acrobatics. Yes. Animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. I think he probably gets... From those, I would say he gets intimidation. And he gets action surge. What do we give him here? A level. I need to give him something additional. He has pack tactics, sunlight sensitivity, which we just never play. He doesn't have sunlight sensitivity anymore. We've got to make him simple. That's the thing. And give him action surge. In your turn, you can take 1 additional action. Use this feature once. And you need to rest. He doesn't have second wind, but what I'll give him instead is extra health. To account for that. He gets an extra 10 fucking health. So he's like a bastardized fighter basically now, just to give him more survivability because he's just getting absolutely annihilated. He does have a +1 longsword. He does have a shield and a helmet on that are providing him with power, AC. His AC is 13. No, his AC is 16. How did I work that out? It's 13 normally, but 16 with a shield. Oh, his dex went up. So it's now 17 with a shield. Thanks, Anon. Alright, there's Seg. Seg now lives. Oh yeah, we're gonna give him a real token, weren't we? That's right. Seg enhanced. He earned a real token out of us because he has a Marowak helmet on. That's right. He knocked the skull off of a skeleton last week and it landed on his head. I remember. Oh, I made the token. But did I bring it in? Seg enhanced. Seg. Brindor is dead. Okay. Now remember, Seg is a kobold. He's not like a big dragon boy or anything like that. He's pretty small and pretty thin. Considering in terms of, you know, the creature that he is. So bear that in mind with Seg. He's not like a beast exactly. Okay, now the wheel spin, we added a few more things to. So when you spin the wheel, there's a chance for all sorts of random things to happen, as we've seen throughout the weeks. We've added spin for enemy. So if it lands on that and there's an enemy, we spin again for the enemy. If there's no enemy about, I guess we'll just spin it over. There's spin for companion. So you spin and whatever happens to whatever companion you're with. So most likely to be Seg. So, you know, like if he recovers, he gets the curse, or he gets the condition, or he gets the quad vantage, or he gets the heal. We added resistance, in which you will gain temporary resistance for the scene, I guess. So you might just get we'll roll on the resistances, and the same for vulnerabilities. So there are additional things on there. I think we need some. Oh, and merchant. We did one that was like a merchant appears, and you can buy things. How much money does Gary have? He's got 420 gold. Blaze it. So yeah, he's doing all right. Okay, so there's the level ups. Let's get into the game itself. You are still at the Crypt of the Jinn. I'm going to run the intro again, and then we're going to get into the actual game. The Legend of Gary continues right now.
It's under a tiny world will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rexander's rain had stopped falling. What had stopped it? And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires? Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new major tech and steam-powered technology from the Hachstan matriarchy or Kosus Reinti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, and the finals of the Kraven trials. Humans faced off against Noms. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, leaving magic unstable, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest. The only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last Nom. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
It is time. You guys are inside of the Crypt of the Jinn. Lost in the deserts outside of the last forest. Having traversed through this crypt, room to room, chamber to chamber, finding puzzles and traps and avoiding some of them. You came to the Jinn's final resting place. This was an area that contained a couple of skeletons and a giant sarcophagus which burst open. This enormous elemental undead being suddenly attacked Gary and Seg. They expected this place to be a pub. They ended up fighting with this Jinn back and forth. Slowly they whittled down the Jinn and the skeletons, Gary turning into his lizard form and Seg dying and being resurrected basically after a wish from Gary. During the fight, using the Pokeball, Rindor the Calm was killed fighting on Gary's side. Didn't get annoying or anything like that. At the end of the fight, you defeated the Jinn, and it's time to gather your loot. So I'm just going to do a loot table generator here. 5e. One, two, three, four, five. A D5. Legendary loot. You find a legendary piece of loot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Soul Society. 3. 1, 2, 3. This is adamantine chainmail. As the enormous creature dies, this thing that was destroyed the magic of the creature spilling forth, landing where its body was, bang, ding, 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 echoing through the chamber, is this incredible piece of chainmail. Now Gary can't wear this medium armor, but Seg could. This suit of armor is reinforced with adamantine, one of the hardest substances in existence. While wearing it, any crit against you becomes a normal hit. It will boost your AC to 14 plus dex. Are we putting it on Seg? Items. He has a shield, a bone helm, Adamantine chainmail. Unobtainium chainmail. So his AC goes up to 14 plus his dex, so 17. Wait. His dex is a 16, so that's a 3, right? So 17? Am I dumb? And then plus the 2 for the shield would be 19. So 18 with the helm and 20 with the shield. He's unstoppable. You also find $330 gold. $330 gold, 750 gold in total in Gary's pocket. We're fucking rich. Seg, we're rich. Seg starts putting on the chain, drops the chainmail over himself. Yeah, this fits nice and snug. I don't mind that at all. That feels nice. That's actually perfect for me, that. Shoveling gold into his little knapsack of holding. Just so much gold. The two of them click the button to exit the dungeon. They are now outside. As you find yourselves once more on the world map. Onto the world map. I guess the question now is, what does Gary do? So you teleported away from Fury Road down here. You're 100 miles away from Fury Road. You're 130 miles away from the forest. And you're aiming to get to the Hutchton Matriarchy in the west. All the way over here. It's about almost 300 miles away. You are magically rested because you got a level up. So, you're welcome. The question is, what does Gary do next? Now, the main quest says go west. There are some other options decided by you. Bury Rindor. Let his spirit inherit the pub. It's not a pub, but it would become... Oh, yep, fine. Go east. Greg wild shapes into a flying creature and carries Seg to the west. Eat Rindor. Can he use Wild Companion to summon a draft horse and ride it? He can turn into one, yes. Gary turns into a draft horse to ride west. Past Iron Brew and go west. Investigate Seg to try and discover what he lost when he was resurrected. Those are your options. You're fully rested. You've already had a rest. You're already rested. Rested because when you level up in this campaign, you just do the thing in MMOs or whatever where you just and you heal all the way to top. Okay. Investigate Seg to try and discover what he lost when he was resurrected. Okay. Let's roll some dice then. This will be an Arcana check from Gary. So you can start rolling. Exclamation point, roll D20 in the chat. We'll start rolling D20s. The dice roller will pick a random number. We can take the first one for this one to see what you roll. You have a +2 to Arcana here today. An 8. So that's a 10. A 10. I think with a 10 you can't tell. The DC is much higher than 10 to try and figure it out. There's something going on with Seg. There's a red hue to the edges of his eyes. The resurrection certainly took its toll on Seg, but what it was is too difficult for Gary to make out from a surface glance without really getting in there and figuring it out. Gary is unable to tell right now, but something is certainly amiss. Thank you so much for that gift sub, Anonymous. Let's see what you win on the wheel spin. First wheel spin of the day. Thank you very much. Wild Magic Surge. This is always good. This is how you grow another bloody limb. What's going to happen to Gary? Now I have a D10,000 Wild Magic table that I'm going to roll on right now. 1D 10,000. 1,768. 1,768. The caster thinks he has just spoken with his deity, with his Gary, which he sort of did. To be honest with you, Gary goes like this. There's something wrong with Seg. I don't know what it is, but there's something different about him. Now, don't get me wrong. And he turns, there's no one sat there. Seg is in the background, sharpening his blade on a whetstone in the distance, while the two of them walk out of this thing and sit down. And he turns. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for what you did. Speaking to no one. But there's something different about Seg. I'll get to the bottom of it. Do you mind? I'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you very much for your help. The camera pans out and he's just sat there talking to no one. It cuts to it cuts to where Death is, and Death is in Disneyland, Florida, Disney World, Florida. On the Hulk ride. Cuts back to Gary. Alright, Caster thinks he's just spoken with his deity. Even though 5 minutes before this, Caster did speak to his deity. Wheel spin is stupid. What were you aiming for? What did you really want? Quad advantage. Next roll, natural 20. Try again, my friends. Alright. What does Gary do next? We can add one more to the list here. Oh, I think we can reuse these. Any suggestions? One last suggestion from you in the chat. What would you like to do? You are Gary. Follow the wind. Alright. Choice is yours. Go west, bury Rindor. Go east. Greg wild shapes into a flying creature and carries Seg to the west. Eat Rindor. Gary turns into a draft horse to ride west. Cast Iron Brew and go west. Or follow the wind. Are your options. The choice as always is yours. Thank you so much for coming out and watching the stream. I'm not feeling amazing today, so I'm sorry if I'm a little bit low energy. I didn't get much sleep and I'm feeling a bit sick because I'm still very unwell. But I appreciate you coming out and watching the stream. Thank you so much for the subs as well. Remember, on Sundays, if we get to 10 gift subs, we spin the wheel and something random happens. It's a microtransaction in the D&D game that we play, and I love it. I love it on every level. Obviously, I get money. It's the only way I'm paying my rent at the moment. But also, the way that it impacts the game is so hilarious, because it's always just not at all what I would ever expect to happen. Thanks, Shadow. Somehow Brad's ailments returned. Okay, bury Rindor and let his spirit inherit the pub. I think we'll do a dice roll to see how effectively you bury Rindor here, and I would imagine this is a survival check to bury someone successfully. So let's have Gary do a survival check. It's D&D. Let's roll some dice. A d20 from the chat room, please. Start rolling. Exclamation point. Roll d20 in the Twitch chat only. And we take the second roll. Not that 15. You have a +4 to survival on Gary's sheet here. So we add 4 to the end of that. And we'll see how good of a job you do at burying Rindor. The small, very small, hummingbird-sized dragon. A 6. +4 from your survival makes that a 10. It's an okay job as you dig a small hole in the sand. Place. Actually, fuck it. We'll put him in the sarcophagus downstairs. There's a stone grating on stone sound. Let me see if I can make a good one with my mouth. As you push the sarcophagus open, inside there's really nothing but a set of old dusty bones and elemental dust. The dust picks up and floats away. Seg grabs all the bones and throws them out. And Gary places the very tiny corpse of Rindor the Calm into the sarcophagus. Seg and Gary push the sarcophagus's lid back over the top. Let's see if the magic takes hold. I'm going to roll a d20. A 7. Nothing seems to happen. No weirdness. No bizarre elements to this burial. No monstrous creature arises. the crypt that once belonged to this enormous mausoleum that once belonged to a genie now belongs to Rindor the Calm, a villain in the first arc who was captured in a Master Ball, Pokemon Ball, and we came up with a whole table of things that would happen if you pulled Rindor out from the Master Ball, and I got to use it once, and all he did was do what you wanted. And then he died as the genie smote him down. But I would say if it wasn't for Rindor, you certainly would have lost that combat. So probably would have been a TPK and ended the entire thing. Gary and Seg leave the mausoleum. And I guess, I mean, the second highest vote on there, should we have, let's see, look, we're going to do go west, go east. Gary turns into a draft horse and follow the wind. What does Gary do next? As we see Seg with his small little satchel over one shoulder come out into the light of the day. He realizes that the light doesn't hurt his eyes as much as it used to because we removed the sunlight sensitivity trait from him because it's annoying. Gary with his pack on his back, his 6 arms, his tapian nose, step out into the desert, and the two of them begin walking away from the mausoleum. The dungeon completed, a little check mark in the top right of your HUD. Gary turns into a draft horse. A horrendous creature like Sleipnir with 6 legs. Gary turns into a draft horse at one point, his pack and his things being pulled into his body as he does so. This bizarre, bulbous looking pack or draft horse with 6 legs, giant pink eyes on the sides of its head, blonde in color, kind of golden in the desert sun. Starts kicking at the sand because Gary can't really speak. Seg looks over and says, I don't know if I feel comfortable about this. Gary, I don't really know if I want to ride you like a horse. Gary starts getting angry. All right, says Seg. New bone mask over his face. The kobold jumps up on the back of Gary and they start riding off. Across the desert, headed west. So let's have Gary make another survival check to determine whether he goes west first. Can he make it west across the desert and towards the Hutchton matriarchy and his destiny? You take the second roll in the chat and you have a +4 to survival, so you can add a 4 to that at the end of it. Let me see if I can find all the stuff I put down for this desert when I first built it. A 15, we're not taking that one, the next roll. As they ride across this desert sands here. Where do they go? What do they do? What is next? For Gary and Seg. Let's see. An 18 +4 is a 22. Looking up at the sky, using the sun, Seg and Gary figure out the way to go. Which way is west? It's this way. They know it. They figured it out, and they head directly west across the world here. Now, how does D&D travel work again? D&D travel speed. I haven't done it in a long time. The classic travel. A mounted character can ride at a gallop for about an hour, covering the usual distance for a fast pace. If fresh mounts are available every 8 to 10 miles, they can cover larger distances. So essentially you can move at a fast pace. And in a day you can travel 30 miles. Yeah, let's add the mausoleum to this as well. Which one of these is that little map pack that I used? Map bundle 8. No. Okay, I'll try and figure it out later on. Rindor's Crypt. Okay, you move 30 miles west this day. It is now time to roll another D20. Start rolling. Let's see what you encounter. I have an encounter table here of all sorts of different things. It's not just combat encounters. There's just stuff on here. We take the second roll. Riding away from the crypt and the mausoleum across the desert for a full day. For a full day's travel. We're able to make it 30 miles before encountering something else. A 14. Okay. In the distance, you see something glaring. Gary, with his giant horse pink eyes, kind of reacts to a glint of sharp sunlight. Seg holding his hand up as it travels up and meets him too. Something reflecting this desert sun off of the sand, something metallic in the distance. There is a standing on its own in the middle of this vast windswept desert is a giant golden totem gleaming brightly. A massive and ornate totem stands ahead of you. Let's see here. What it looks like. This is what you see ahead of you. As Gary and Seg approach, Gary slowing down. They take a look around, just checking this isn't some sort of trap, checking this isn't some sort of village or a marker that indicates something. They don't rush directly for this thing, but it doesn't seem to immediately present anything bizarre or dangerous. They get a little closer, moving up on horseback. Seg looks at this totem, and Gary just immediately, I think, transforms back into himself. Actually, I think I gave you like a full day's travel on a single wild shape, but I think you only wild shape for an hour, right? How long does he wild shape for? I forget. This is why I need to play a druid, because I don't know how they work. Standing in the middle of this desert, this huge pure gold ornate totem is carved with symbols and figures that depict ancient desert myths and legends. There are sections and segments to this totem that seem to represent different stories, ranging from heroic tales of valor to ominous warnings of curses. As Seg and Gary move around this thing and talk amongst each other, they discuss what the little stories might represent, and the images and scratchings might or carvings might represent. You can see that the totem is adorned with precious gems, inlaid into the eyes of certain parts of the carved figures and runes that are spiraling up the length of this enormous thing. I ask the question again. What does Gary do now? I'm going to give you the basics here. Arcana check. Investigation check. That'd probably be it, wouldn't it? But you can give me some creative ideas. What would you do if you came up and you saw this enormous totem in the desert? Cast find traps. Lick it. Give the statue 10 gold and pray for good fortune to our travel. That game, God, what was that incredible game that no one watched me play? I absolutely loved so much, and will always begrudge you for never letting me finish the other two, where you found the things. Draw a mustache. Can the tongue charm speak to objects? The tongue charm when this chime is rung, the user gains the effect of comprehend languages spell for 1 hour. It's not that you can't comprehend the language on here, there isn't one. It's covered in runes rather than writings. You understand what the images are, they're just stories. You didn't need to make a roll for that. You can tell that each segment of the tome represents a different story. Rest. Okay. Oh, F-Red wants, while posing, Gary pretends to hold the totem up with his left hand. Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You've just been sat on that button the entire stream. Oh, so that you get the wheel spin. I see what you did. And we will have a spin. Okay. Before we do the Arcana check, let's spin this wheel. Thank you very much, Insta Rage, Shadow, and Anonymous as well for contributing towards this wheel spin. Your next roll is actually going to be a natural 1. So... God damn it. Let's see what you would have won. Start rolling. As you cast an Arcana check, as you look over this totem, looking back and forth, trying to figure out what it is, what it might represent, and whether it's arcane in nature. Gary running a hand over one of the runes, looking very carefully at the composition of this golden tower that stands randomly in the middle of this desert. He starts to try and figure it out. Now, this will be a natural 1, but I'm curious as to what you would have got. For Arcana, you have a +2 usually. And you're going to get a natural 1. You're gonna get a natural 1. Gary has no idea what this totem is and whether it's magical in nature. He looks it over, he tries to use his senses, he tries to piece together some of the runes and depictions, and ultimately comes to the conclusion that he has no idea. There is nothing about this statue that makes sense to him. It would have been an 8, would have been a 10. So you probably would have got some information about it, but instead, the natural 1 strikes, unfortunately. Okay, what does Gary do next instead then? We'll just go with these again, I think. Give you the option to do these again. Investigation check. Cast find traps. Lick it. Give the statue 10 gold and pray for good fortune to our travel. Draw a mustache. Rest. Or while posing, pretend to hold the totem up with your left hand. One of your 6 left hands. Rededicate the totem to Rindor. An epic failure trying to piece together. What does it mean, Gary? Says Seg. What does this thing do? Where did it come from? What is it? How do we use it? Gary says, well, taking a look at it. Carry the 1. Looking at this image. And these runes. I've got no fucking idea, Seg. None at all. I don't know what the fuck this thing is whatsoever. Not to be dissuaded, you're going to try and do an investigation check. Okay. Start rolling. Your investigation check will be a +2. This is a more mechanical check, so an Arcana check would potentially give you any information as to whether this was a magical totem or it has some sort of magical element to it. An investigation check is more of a mechanical check, see if this thing has any mechanical elements to it. Maybe it would give you some information on what the tower was, who created it and when, what its purpose is, something like that. But not necessarily whether it contains any magic elements to it. We'll take the second roll. So the next one that comes up. A 5 +2 is a 7. I don't know, man. I can't tell. I mean, one minute there's a story about a dragon, look. And the next, there's a story about, what is this? Food? Is it feeding a child? I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what this thing is whatsoever. None. No idea. Gary has fucking no idea what this thing is. What does Gary do next? Find traps, lick it, give the statue 10 gold, pray for good fortune to our travel, draw a mustache, rest, or while posing, pretend to hold the totem up with his left hand. How many wild shapes? I'm going to say you have no wild shapes left, because you used them on the travel to become a wild draft horse. The power of the draft horse compels you. You're going to try giving the statue 10 gold and praying for good fortune to the travel. Okay. Knocking off 10 gold here, down to 740. You place some coins around the base of the totem. 10 coins sitting in the sand, looking up at the thing. Gary says, maybe this will give us good fortune. An offering to totems like this in days past would have provided some sort of benevolent boon, Seg. Seg says, is that right? Alright, well, let's see what it does. A small portion of the totem flakes off harmlessly. As the piece of the totem starts to fall, it turns to dust, landing and piling in the sand. Gary suddenly grabs a small pouch and starts to scoop it up. You end up with 50 gold's worth of gold dust. Seg says, oh, it's not bad, put some more down. But they throw some more gold coins down, looking around, moving around. Nothing seems to happen. Well, I'll try silver or something. Silver doesn't work. Alright. You got 50 gold worth of gold dust out of that. What does Gary do next? And we can add into this now. Continue on the journey west. Go west, where the totem's gold. Go west, it is pretty bold. Continue on the journey west. Alright. Gary picks his stuff up, packs the gold dust away, and starts heading west once more. This will be a survival check. So you can start rolling the checks. +4 to survival. We'll put a little thing that just says gold totem. I'll see if I can remember. One of these is good for map stuff. I don't remember what it was called. Oh, is this it? This might be it. Yeah. This has got like little things in it. A little statue in here somewhere as well. What did you roll? I missed it because you started gifting subs. Who's gifting subs? Anonymous and Shadow. We need free stuff. Column would work, but I think there is an actual little like potent thing in here. I guess this will do. Okay, you rolled a 3. A 7 is going to be a fail there. So let's see which direction you go. So it was 1 will be north, 2 will be north east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6. It's this direction, wasn't it? Southwest. Now, how far can you actually move? A fast pace. Normal pace, slow pace. Okay. Give you the option. Movement pace. Fast. We gotta get there. Normal. Slow. Your choice. Gary and Seg pack their bags. Take one last look up at the golden totem and head out. You're not moving as a draft horse because you are no longer a draft horse and you have no more wild shapes left. You've used both of them to travel 30 miles. Traveling now upon his small feet with his 6 arms, Gary starts trudging across the sand and heading in what he thinks to be west. A normal pace. You travel through the night. You can get 24 hours. You can get 24 miles away, which is about there. Traveling through the night, suffering. Oh, I didn't show it. You're about here. The night falls, it's cold at night. The darkness is pretty intense on this sort of a landscape, with very little moonlight to guide the way. Gary and Seg move in the direction they believe to be west, but is kind of veering southwest more than west itself. Moving across these dunes is difficult work. Roll me a d20. Let's see what's here when you arrive at this area. It's also difficult work because you haven't taken a rest. So we're going to need to roll a constitution saving throw after this to see if you're exhausted. But first, we find out what's there. We take the second roll. Not that 18. Gary has a +1 to his con saves. Let's get rolling. It is an 18. Cool. All right. In the darkness. Keep rolling, by the way. We need a Constitution saving throw. In the darkness, you spot something. Something bizarre. Because it's dark, it takes a while before it sort of materializes, or at least before you're able to recognize what you're really looking at. There's something up ahead. Seg and Gary suddenly recognize that there is a structure or something like that ahead of them. That a 7? 7 plus 1 is an 8. That's a fail. Gary's exhausted. He's at 1 level of exhaustion. This is disability, disadvantage on ability checks. Here's a disability. As you approach, and at night time, remember, you see a ship. A skeletal wreck of a ship. An eerie and surreal sight in this strange but vast desert. This thing appears to be old. A huge weathered vessel, half buried in the sand, as if it sailed across the dunes and came to a sudden final stop. The ship's timbers are bleached white by the sun, sails almost non-existent, tattered and torn. A little flap from parts of the stringy remains. Let's have a perception check from Gary. Now you have a disadvantage on this because you're exhausted. Perception is a 0 for Gary now, since he got his ability modifier from the level 4 level up. Is that the one, the 17? No. Is that the first one? Gotta keep rolling. We need 3 dice from you. Somewhere in here I thought I had a fucking... like a giant desert ship thing. I guess I didn't. Which brings me great sadness. Great sadness indeed. What's the winning roll? An 18 and a 15. Okay. With a 15, you're able to recognize a few things. The first thing is that there are things moving around on the ship. Sort of taking a moment with Seg to slow down and get a little closer, approach this area more cautiously. You, as Gary, see that the beings moving around on this ship are skeletons. You see these creatures moving about on this ship. Moving around seemingly sort of aimlessly. A bunch of skeletons. The remains of the crew moving about on the deck. Some of them clutching to the remains of the rigging. One all the way up in the mast, laying awkwardly, but you see its head moving back and forth. Several leaning and resting against the ship's railings, looking out over the desert where you are. What does Gary do? But sure, as always, is your good. Oh, it didn't go? God damn it. I was sitting here building the ship. Working on this fucking cool looking ship. It's half buried. Having a great time. But I didn't actually put the stuff in. This is how tired I am today, I'm sorry. If you subscribe, I'll wake up. Wild shape into solid snake. Solid snake has a +10 to sneaking. Call for Captain Barbosa. DTFO. And attack. Oh, yell man overboard is good. Didn't see that one. Okay. Call Campbell. The old man is overboard. The skeletons moving around on this ship. Gary. Seg. Hiding. Gary goes. Man overboard! It's time for you to make me nice, delicious persuasion check. Performance check, I mean. A performance check. Now you have a +0. Do you have no bonus to this? Anonymous is like, nah. Hell no, bitch. I'm summoning God with a Deus Ex roll. You have disadvantage on this roll because you're exhausted. Roll the dice 3 times. We take the lowest of the final 2 rolls. Anonymous, thank you so much for the gift subs. 2 away from a roll on a spin on the wheel. You want to take a spin on this wheel, boy? And there it is. Let's spin it right now while you're rolling this dice. Keep an eye on the dice. A 7 and a 9. And we're spinning again, but this is for Seg. New additions to the wheel spin. Seg becomes vulnerable. Damage types in D&D. Acid, bludgeoning, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic, piercing, poison, psychic, radiant, slashing, and thunder. 1d13. A 10, so that was 13, 12, 11, 10. Seg is, for the remainder of this whole section, vulnerable to psychic damage. So you get a 7 on your performance check. Man overboard! Cries Gary. Suddenly, wrong one. All of the skeletons snap their heads over in the direction of the rock that Gary and Seg are hiding behind. They start shuffling across the deck, moving towards the sound. Oh shit. Shadow, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Ray, thank you for the 2 as well. I guess we ask the question again now as they're moving towards you. The skeletons are coming towards you. What does Gary do? We ask again. Jaeger, thank you so much for the sub. Say a cheesy one-liner and charge in. Cast fireball. Get the fuck out. Basic attack. But I can spell. Have Seg flank them. Pretend to be their captain. Have Seg pretend to be their captain. Why can't I type today? I'm really not very well. Diggy hole. Dig under the rock with Seg. All right, those are the options you've come up with. D&D. Ladies and gentlemen, Dungeons and Dragons. Skeletons start moving across the deck of this desert ship, this ancient wreck. Plan is to have Seg pretend to be their captain. It's called Twitch Plays D&D, not Brad Plays D&D. You just want me to roleplay with all of my NPCs by myself in the corner while you quietly watch, don't you? Gary says, right, pretend to be their captain. Hey, are you having a laugh? Hey, no, do it. Go on, why not? Why don't you do it? I'm tired. I'm knackered. Let's walk along the desert. I turned into a horse. You're gonna have to take the lead on this one, Seg. Oh, bloody hell. Have a look at Seg's stats. For this. Seg has a -1 to charisma. No advantage on any sort of performance checks or anything like that. Seg says, right, yeah. I suppose I do have the skull mask. Maybe they'll think I'm one of theirs. Aye, that's true. Right, go on then. Seg steps out. I'm going to roll his performance check first. I'm going to give him advantage on this performance check because he has a skull hat head. An 11. An 11 for Seg. Let's see how this sounds. No. Much better. Seg steps out and says, "Oh, mateys, it's me, innit? Captain Seg. I'm back. Your long lost captain's back after all this time to help us get out of the desert and sail back to the ocean. Even though I ain't never seen one or know what that is." Gary says. Gary just kind of clapping. Yeah. Keep going. Right. As captain of this ship, my first order is don't kill me. This skeleton steps forward and says, I don't think you're the captain of this ship at all, my good man. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm Captain Barbosa. You should have taken the call out to Captain Barbosa option, by the way. That was the correct answer. Seg says, Oh, yeah. Of course you are, Captain. Wait, well, what ship is this? The captain says, why, this is the HMS Message in a Bottle. The HMS Message in a Bottle. It's the HMS message in a bottle, Gary. My apologies. We thought this was my ship. The HMS message in a bottle of water. The skeleton captain steps forward. You can see the skeleton now as he steps forward, catches some of the moonlight, and appearing in the moonlight is a full pirate outfit, like a spirit around this skeleton appears. You can still see the skeleton translucent through the translucence of the skin and clothing and stuff. This ghostly kind of crew member, this captain, steps forward. His clothing is very resplendent, very sort of classic naval looking wear, with a huge wide brimmed naval officer's hat, and a cloak that kind of glimmers blue in the moonlight, and with the spectral glow of a ghost. You see that on his face he's got this relatively large beard that twizzles outwards, and he says, "My good man, what on earth do you think you're doing approaching my ship?" "Oh, no, I ain't. We can be on our way if you want." "Now, you won't be going anywhere. You will not be going anywhere at all. Not until I roll this D6. A 6. Oh. One of 6 things can happen with this ship. And you have unlocked a ghostly warning. The spirit provides a cryptic warning about the future. Dangers that the characters might face in the desert. Which gives you advantage on the relevant skill check. The captain said, "Oh, they're nice." The captain says, "Just found out they're all nice." The captain says, "Not until I tell you this one thing, you little shit. It's dangerous out there. I don't want you getting hurt. Now beware. For around this area are many scorpions. I'd say hundreds, nay tens of them. You with your fleshy legs, and your friend hiding behind the rock with his glowing pink eyes. You'll want to be careful of the scorpions. They'll definitely get you, they'll poison you, and you'll die. They'll eat you, from the balls up." Seg says, "Right," his hand kind of drifting away from his sword as he was approaching. "Scorpions. Right, yeah. Yeah, no, We'll have to look for the scorpions, won't we, Gary?" Gary steps out. "Hey, we'll look for the scorpions. That's a good idea. That's very helpful. Thank you very much, Captain Barbosa." "Yes, Captain Barbosa, named because someone in the chat room wrote it. And I decided that if they chose that option, this would be hilarious. That it was the correct one." Okay. Let's see here. Okay. What does Gary do now? Is there anything I can help you with, Captain? Rest. Why are you stuck? Can we rest in exchange for iron brew? Can I use your bathroom? Okay, you all want to do the same thing, so we'll just put this in. Rest will incorporate all of the different things. Ask for ale was good. But I got the feeling that everyone was going to write the same thing over and over again, so I just started the poll. Time to rest. Gary says, I don't want to be forward, Captain Barbosa, but do you mind if we rest near, or perhaps even better, on your ship for the night? I'm absolutely pure shattered, man. My fucking wheel leggies are not used to the desert, and I transformed into a horse and I fucking spent me, but also I'm pure exhausted, level 1. Captain Barbosa says, absolutely, my good man. Come aboard. We'll get you all suited and booted. Now, we don't have any food, and we certainly don't have any water. Well, technically, we don't even have any flesh. We've got nothing that can actually help you in any way. But you're more than welcome to stay on the ship. It should at least keep the scorpions off your back. Maybe. Oh, you're a pure champion. You are mine. I love you, says Gary, as he gets up on the ship. The skeletons, Gary and Seg, kind of gather around a particular area. Seg and Gary relax, and they sort of just chill on part of the deck. They find an area that seems to sort of provide you with a decent overlook of the area, while also giving you an opportunity to take a rest here. Okay, let's see first of all if you are attacked by multiple scorpions overnight. Roll me a d20. Let me pull up my encounter table rules. Encounters. Is that 1 the answer? Okay. Does a scorpion exist? Be good if I could spell scorpion. Oh yes. Scorpion. A giant scorpion is a challenge rating of 3. That's too difficult for you. A scorpion with a challenge rating of 0. What's a night scorpion? Challenge rating of 3. A scorpion appears on Gary. What does Gary do? A scorpion crawls along the deck. Gary looks down and it starts climbing up his leg. Tame the scorpion. Talk to it. Belly flop onto it. Throw a Pokeball at it. Eat it. Capture it. Throw it at a skeleton. What does Gary do? Tame the scorpion. All right. Now the options you have to tame this thing. You can speak with small beasts. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. You have beast bond, but that's not going to work. One beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you, this is neither. So you can talk to it. You know what? You can have an animal handling check. Which you have a +4 in, but you're exhausted, so it's disadvantage, but you have advantage because you can speak with small beasts. Start rolling. It's just a flat roll. So if we take the second roll, that's your animal handling check. You have a +4 to it. A 13 +4, a 17. This thing starts crawling up towards you. The skeletons go, "Oh shit! There's a bloody Scott." Seg says, "Ah, fucking hell, fucking scorpion." Gary looks down to the creature, places his hand out as the scorpion walks towards him. You see the scorpion's tail rise up, and Gary says, "Hey, wee man, what do you want? You want some food? Oh, would you like a drop of iron brew, perhaps?" Holds out his finger, and on the edge of his finger is a drop from one of the nearby empty bottles of iron brew that they've been drinking through during the rest. He holds it out to the scorpion. The scorpion's little pincers clicking, the tail moving kind of dangerously and tauntingly. And Gary places the iron brew to where the little mandibles, that have mandibles, the little mouth of the scorpion is. You see the scorpion look up at Gary with its little demonic and evil eyes. By the way, scorpions are about as close to evil as a wasp, in my opinion. They don't need to exist. They're clearly made from pure evil. And the creature drinks the iron brew. You see the tail calm down. You see the pincers relax. Gary places his hand out. The scorpion runs up his arm and then sits on his shoulder. And Gary turns to the skeletons and says, "Hey, you see, scorpions are not so bad. Everyone thinks they're pure evil, right? They're literally a ground wasp. But the thing is, they're just people. They just want a bit of iron brew and a bit of time to relax, that's all. You can't be bothered to sting no one, can you now?" The scorpion on the shoulder. "Hey, he's alright, don't worry about it. Is that a fucking scorpion, and did you just tame it with a drop of iron brew?" "Hey," Seg says, "Oh, I don't know, man. That's a bit fucking weird for my taste when it comes to pets. Keep that scorpion away from me, yeah, Gary? Fucking hell." "Oh, don't worry, he's doing alright. You're safe there, right, man?" The scorpion. You've done it. That didn't work. We're just going to do this. What will you name the scorpion? Scorpion. You're currently resting right now. And rolled on a random encounter. Yon, Ronnie, Bed, Desk, Pashwani. What the fuck is any of this mean? Harry, Jack, Sub-Zero. Dwayne The Rock. Fuck me. Johnson. Sting. Tappy. Pure Evil. Alright, the choice is yours. What will you name the Scorpion? No one in here today. What's going on? Where is everyone? You bored of D&D? Is it because I've got no energy? Is there a public holiday happening in America again? It's World Nature Conservation Day, right? Of course. Sting is his name. Sting the Scorpion, tamed. NPC, Scorpion Sting. Have a look at him. He's got an attack called Sting. He's got 1 HP, 11 AC. He can poison creatures. He can do 1d8 poison damage to creatures. Quite a lot for a creature with 1 HP. Alright. Acquired. Tamed. You now have a pet scorpion. After resting through the night, you're able to recover your 2 wild shapes and remove this disadvantage from the exhaustion. The spirits and the skeletons start speaking to you. Over the night, they explained that the ship was once a grand vessel, captained by this daring captain of theirs, to chart the uncharted and find legendary treasures. The ship was caught in a supernatural storm while navigating an enchanted river that once flowed through the desert. The storm transported the ship to the heart of the desert, where the river dried up, as did everything else in the world, leaving their crew stranded. After several months, they died. Upon the ship is a single cursed relic. The captain brings you to the captain's quarters, buried partially in the sand. He says, "Now look here. Do you see that thing there?" Pointing. He can't pick it up because he's a ghost. He's part skeleton, part ghost, but he doesn't have control of his hands. He says, "That amulet there is very valuable. I can't wear it anymore because I took it off and then I died. But perhaps you could. Would you like to take that amulet? Would you like to keep that amulet forever?" Do you take the amulet? Yes. No. Investigate. Arcana. Oh, damn Krioma, we are 2 subs away from spinning the wheel again. An Arcana check on the amulet, cries the chat room. Okay, start rolling. You have a +2 to your Arcana checks. There it is. It's happened. Let's spin this wheel. Let's see what you get. You spin for the enemy, which there aren't any. We'll spin for Captain Barbosa. No, there aren't any, so we'll just spin again. Your next roll's a natural 20. That's what we'll do. We'll have that. If there are no enemy, if you're in the middle of a fight and you roll spin for the enemy, we spin for the enemy. If you're not, we just spin again. So this will be a natural 20. Gary says, "Oh, the way you said that makes me feel weird about the amulet. Let me take a wee look at it." Pulls out a magnifying glass. Here's one of his pink eyeballs blowing up to a ridiculous size inside the magnifying glass as he looks it over. He says, "Aye, as I thought. This thing's cursed. It's pure cursed, that amulet of yours." "Cursed, you say? Can't possibly be. We're not cursed, are we, boys?" The other skeletons. Clearly cursed and bound to this ship by something. On a natural 20, you know everything about this amulet. This amulet was picked up by the captain on one of their excavations looking for legendary treasures on a bizarre magical river. After finding this amulet is known as the Amulet of Souls. The only way to break the spell is to solve the intricate riddle which is written around the edge of the amulet. The stone on the center of this thing is glowing kind of a sickly green, but it is encased in a very thin layer of silver, and etched into that silver is a very intricately written and scribed riddle. The riddle says, the riddle says, you know what? Here we go. The riddle says, and by the way, chat, you will have 30 seconds to solve this riddle. Okay? You will have 30 seconds to solve this riddle. The riddle is, why can't a pirate ever finish the alphabet? 30 seconds. Gary looking at the thing. Why can't a pirate ever finish the alphabet? Why can't a pirate ever finish the alphabet. It's playing again. Gary says, oh. Seg says, probably because you always get stuck on R. And Gary slaps him. Psh. No. It's because it always gets lost at sea. That's correct. And with that, you see the amulet begin to glow. It breaks open. From it, a magical burst of arcane energy washes across the deck of this ship, out from the captain's quarters and across the deck of the ship. Let's see what this song sounds like. What about this one? You see this arcane beam pierce through the chest of the captain in like a really Disney, like when the beast turns back into a human moment. You see him in all of his glory. The skeleton, the translucent ghostly form around him, brought back to life. The beam moving from one skeleton to the next, to the next, to the next. Each of these skeletons is turned from a skeleton into a man again. Boom, boom, boom. And by man, I mean human. They're not even humans, actually. Some of them are orcs. Some of them are as a tabaxi. One's a woman. One's not a woman. One's, you know, just boom, bung, 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 ting, 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 ting. Each member of the crew is returned back to their human living form. The ship bursts forth from out of this sand. Why has this done this? And begins to float on the magic of the amulet. Seg and Gary holding on, the captain turning around. My God, you've done it. We're bloody free. Boys, we're back in business. I'm bloody hungry. I haven't been hungry in 1,000 years. Nay, tens of years. Get to the helm. Get on the rigging. We're going, get the flag out. Pull the sails down. And other such marina talk that Brad doesn't know. To the bow, to the aft, I cry. The captain starts moving around the ship as it lifts up out of the sand. Gary and Seg holding on for dear life. The captain says, how about this, boys? We'll bloody take you anywhere. Anywhere you want to go. Look at this thing. The ship can fly. Well, we're going to travel and we're going to find so many new adventures, boys. The first of them being that we need food really badly. We've still got a few deep-fried Mars bars and iron brews from last night to see us through. But my God, golly gosh. First, we're going to take these chaps that freed us from our curse wherever they bloody want to go. Where would you like the ship to take you? Right, obviously go west. Follow the North Star. Taco Bell. Scotland. A magical circus. The multiverse. Treasure. The golden saucer. Oh, the Sea of Stars is good, Plumrug, but you were too late. You said Taco Bell first, reaching for the comedy answer before realizing the best answer. We've all been there. It happens to the best of us. There are two wolves inside you. The multiverse was the one I really wanted to win so that I could change Gary into a fighter. Okay. The ship lifts off. Where would you like to go, boys? We'll take you bloody anywhere. This thing, nothing can stop us now. Gary says, I'm trying to go west. The sand and the wind whipping against Gary. I'm trying to get to the Hodgson matriarchy and save the world. West, boys. We're taking these boys west. The ship starts flying through the air. You can go 48 miles west. 48 miles west takes you over to here. Flying through the air, the sailors with their hair all whipping out behind them, the captain at the helm. This is it. This is living, boys. There is the most amazing sunrise from the top of this ship. Gary standing at the edge of it, proper Ghibli style. Ghibli Gary. With his hair loose and out behind him. Looking as the sun rises over the desert. This ship flying through the air, an arcane beam of sickly green behind it, buoyed by what was once a curse and is now a magical source of fuel for this flying ship as it moves across the desert terrain. The captain with his now in full vibrant Technicolor with a Technicolored coat on, all the different colors of the rainbow on this coat, his hat barely holding on, his beard and his mustachio whipping behind him at the helm of this thing. Yes! He screams. And then the ship collides with the side of a mountain, exploding into 1,000 pieces and killing everyone in the crew on the ship. A horrific sight as Gary and Seg are flung from the back of this thing. The captain impaled on the wheel. The guy that's in the crow's nest is sent so far forward he was never seen again. The ship fucking explodes. You don't get a flying ship. You get a one-time fast travel 48 miles west. Every single member of this fucking crew is true death. Gary, Seg, and Sting are launched off the back of it. Let's have a dexterity saving throw for Gary. As he launches through the air, the ship in slow-mo. Captain Barbosa winks. Goodbye! Before part of the ship, a huge plank of wood, breaks through his chest and pierces his back. blood launched across the bow of the ship. Every member of the ship is flung from this thing, landing awkwardly, snapping necks, broken and impaled on parts of the flying ship. All of this, the magical ship exploding and going everywhere. Gary needs to make me a dexterity saving throw to land safely. He's got a +1 to his dex. A 17, +1, and 18. Gary lands. Superhero landing. 3 point. Like Black Widow. In the desert. Nope. That's where we end. Oh. You made it 48 miles west. Sting's alive.
In the last little forest, untamed and left wild, there lives a small person, but he's not a child. A leader of men, a leader of more. He's listening, Gabe, he's ready for war. A powerful druid, but he cannot fly. He's in love with death, but he cannot die. His name is Gary, and this is his story. His name is Gary, revel in his glory.
Alright, I've just written my notes for next week that says Captain Barbosa and the HMS message in a bottle broke the curse, took you 48 miles west before colliding with the mountain, killing every man, woman and child on board except for Gary, Seg and Sting. You don't get a flying ship. Hell no, motherfuckers. Alright. We're done here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. That was a lot of fun. I'm a little unwell today, so I was a bit low energy, but thank you for watching and thanks for the subs. I hope you had fun too. I'll be back tomorrow with a little bit of... I think maybe we'll play Slay the Princess. We'll see. I've never been this unwell, Orcish. I swear to God. I never knew what it was until this. And tonight we're playing a game with the Fellowship on the second channel, Brad Random, if you want to watch that in about 2 hours from now. I'll see you then if you want to watch it. Can't remember what game it is. I was going to play Infestation. Oh, we might be playing Murky Divers. I don't know what that is. So I'll see you then for that one. Thanks for hanging out, boys. Have a good rest of your evening. I'll see you in a couple of hours on Brad Random, or I'll see you tomorrow or next week for more D&D. We play D&D on Sundays here, as well as on Tuesdays on Table Story. So lots of links, lots of content for you. You're welcome. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.